leaves.
and just wow them at how fire it is.
One morning, two men were cleaning Gordon after he had acted rather foolishly and ended up rolling off the turntable and into a muddy ditch.
Mind my eyes, grumbled Gordon.
Have you ever seen so much mud? Said one of the cleaners.
No, I haven't, said the other. You ought to be ashamed, Gordon, letting yourself get so dirty. But, thought Gordon, I don't have time to worry about my appearance like some engines do.
The hosing and scrubbing suddenly stopped. Gordon opened his eyes, but quickly closed them again when he saw who was standing in front of him.
Wake up, Gordon, said Sir Topham Hatt, and listen to me. Given your recent behaviour, I've decided that you will pull no more coaches until you prove to me that you can be a really useful engine. Perhaps pulling trucks for a while will teach you a lesson. Yes, sir, said Gordon quietly.
So Gordon had to spend his time pulling and pushing trucks.
One long, continuous piece, aside from the envy ditty. It slows down in parts, of course, in between events, and then builds up. And the build-up with those strings are just amazing. Ooh, that's still to this day sends shivers down my spine. The music in Thomas has never gotten more cinematic and crazy as it has in this episode. And that's why
Goods trains, he muttered. Oh, the shame of it.
And he bumped the trucks again. Cried the trucks as he shunted them around the yard. James was standing nearby watching him. Trucks will be trucks, he said.
They won't with me, grunted Gordon. I'll teach them. They tried to push me down the hill this morning, he explained. It's slippery there, so you'll probably need help.
I don't need help on hills,
huffed James.
Gordon laughed and headed off to get ready for his next goods train.
Come on, James, said his driver. It's almost time for the express.
And with that, James puffed away to collect his waiting coaches.
many things that modern-day Thomas just doesn't experiment with is true. Every episode is full of, and even the majority of the Brenner-era scores are
The guard soon blew his whistle and James puffed away.
lighthearted stories that end on a happy note.
Come on, he puffed to the coaches.
Left for the audience to really think about the grander scope. If you see perspectives, just wrap everything up. Everyone is always catching more times than not. That is what characters are all about.
The train was soon running nicely, and James began to feel confident. Slippery hills indeed. I don't need help, he puffed. James soon arrived at the next station. He was feeling very pleased with himself, but he kept thinking about what Gordon had said. I'll show Gordon who needs help on hills, he said to himself.
We know it's James. Get on with it. Henry in the Dark, another spooky episode of the new era, has a very similar problem. Imagine if we were following Gordon or someone through that episode.
But soon, James reached the bottom of the hill. Strong winds from the sea made the hill hard to climb. Leaves fallen from the nearby trees were now covering the rails, and the recent rainfall meant that they were too heavy to be blown away by the wind.
That's not to say these are bad episodes or anything, but
I'll do it, he puffed.
They do this because of what I can assume.
But his wheels slipped on the leaves.
The episodes have to be lighthearted. No experimentation with tone allowed.
I must do it. I must do it, he panted.
Because kids are stupid. Look at the funny minions.
But try as he might, his wheels kept on slipping, and he couldn't pull the train at all. Help! Help! Cried James. His wheels were turning forwards, but the heavy coaches pulled him backwards, and soon the whole train started slipping down the hill. James's driver applied the brakes, then going carefully reversed the train back down the hill, and they headed back to the station.
You know what I really like? Trains.
When they arrived, they found Gordon waiting, who had seen everything.
Trains are just so fucking cool, man.
I thought you said you could climb hills, he chuckled.
They just beg to be looked at. These giant,
James
massive,
didn't answer.
powerful metal
He had no steam left to say anything.
life through fire and flames.
Ah, well, we live and learn, said Gordon. Never mind, little James. I'm going to push from behind. Whistle when you're ready.
So yeah, you know what else is really cool? To be honest, it's weird. I'm not a big season fan, but no, I mean, I really love the episode of Halloween. Absolutely amazing titles. Yeah, they were really
I'm ready, called James. So am I, replied Gordon. Pull hard. We'll do it, puffed James.
One of my all-time favorite bits of traits is something you all probably never noticed, and it was present in this shot right here. Ready? Because I'm about to blow your mind. Ever wonder
Clouds of smoke and steam towered from the snorting engines as they struggled up the hill. "We can do it," puffed James.
We will do it, puffed Gordon.
Finally, the two engines reached the top.
We've done it! We've done it! They puffed.
The two weary engines were puffed out, but they continued onwards to the next station. And it wasn't long before they arrived. "Thank you, Gordon," whistled James. Gordon whistled goodbye as he watched James puff away. Then slowly, he trundled back to his waiting trucks.
To say trains are lame and has them doing anything other than what trains would do. It's safe to say that Thomas entered a sort of identity crisis since Mattel took over, which only gets worse and worse with every passing year. I don't care what anyone says. Trains are cool. And Thomas was cool because it really showcased just how cool trains were. They were fiery, beastly, absolute units on rails. Horses.
Hold on.
We've covered a lot already in this little series about what makes Thomas the Tank Engine such a special show. We've talked about its score, we've talked about its tone, we've talked about how they visually portray the engines, we've talked about unique writing techniques. But I haven't talked about what is arguably the most important element of all in Thomas, the characters. We all watch Thomas for different reasons, but the main reasons we as fans keep coming back to it over and over again is because we love these characters.
One
The
more
reason we get so
song.
pissed off when they do something with these characters we don't like is because we like them so much. They mean something to us. After a 24-season run, moving these characters have been through numerous trials and journeys, and a lot of them are in very different places than they first started. I'm not saying every character is super well developed, because honestly, some of them need to be, but the more important ones are, and those are the ones that really stick with people. Today I want to talk about a very particular
Gordon
episode
and the
of the
troublesome
CGI
trucks.
that I think does a fantastic job.
Maintenance is an important part of keeping a railway running safely. Tracks need to be fixed and points must be mended to ensure the safety of people and engines.
So let's start by talking
Early
about
one morning, Sir Topham Hatt arrived at Tidmouth Sheds to make an important announcement.
When he was first introduced, he was very devious.
Some maintenance work is being done on a section of the main line between Marron and Kelsthorpe Road. So I've decided it will be safer for all of you if we close that part of the line until the work is complete. This means that many of you will have to do different jobs, so we can keep things running smoothly. But I'm sure you will all manage. Thomas and Emily, please look after the passengers and make sure they can still reach their destinations without confusion or delay.
Yes, sir,
Replied the engines. Percy, I need you to run Thomas's branch line.
yes, sir, he replied.
Then Sir Topham Hatt turned to Gordon. And I have an important job for you too, Gordon, he said. The workmen need some supplies delivered to the work site. So whilst the other engines are busy, I will need you to deliver them. But sir, what about the express? Unfortunately, we've had to cancel all express trains whilst the work is being carried out. We can't have high-speed trains passing through an area that's being repaired. It's just not safe. Cancelled? But sir, you can't cancel the express. It's the most important service on the island, and far more important than delivering some trucks. Now, Gordon, I know how much the express means to you, but it's far more important right now that we get the line repaired as soon as we can. You can go back to pulling the express once the work has been completed. Oh, if I must.
And with that, Sir Topham Hatt turned and headed off to attend to other things.
What's Sir Topham Hatt thinking? Making me take dirty trucks from dirty sidings?
He's just trying to make sure that the railway keeps running smoothly and that all of the passengers can reach their destinations on time, said Emily. We all need to make the most of this time while repairs are being carried out. And besides, Sir Topham Hatt has given you an important job. I thought an important engine like you would appreciate that.
Goods trains are just not suitable for a grand engine like me, Gordon went on. It wouldn't be dignified.
That's enough, Gordon, said his fireman. Come on now. The workmen are expecting these trucks to be delivered, and we don't want to delay things any further.
Oh, all right. The sooner we get this job over with, the sooner I can be back pulling the express.
Of this little revolution. But what really sells this to me is the scene in front. Daisy wasn't acting. She heard everything Diesel said. But once she's fixed, we of course expect her to feel sorry for Diesel after hearing pull his heart up to her and accept an apology. Nope. This time it's different. Daisy does not accept Diesel's apology, and I love that they did this. Diesel does not get off. And it's just the kick he needed to start getting. episodes could have been